Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
I just received the results of your random drug test from the medical review officer, and it was verified positive for marijuana. This is a very serious violation of the DOT FAA testing regulations. As a result, I am removing you from your safety-sensitive position effective immediately. Now, our company does have a second chance policy that allows me to place you on administrative leave pending the next steps. Do you understand what I'm telling you?
Yeah, but you've known me for years. I don't have a drug problem. This was just a one-time mistake.
That may be, but your drug use poses a safety threat that no one can afford. We cannot return you to work until you successfully complete the return to duty process. The first step in the process is for you to talk to a substance abuse professional. Are you willing to go through these necessary steps to get back to work?
I guess so.
As the DER, you have a very important role after an individual violates a DOT FAA drug or alcohol regulation. Once you receive a positive test result or a notice of alcohol violation or even learn that an employee has refused to test, you must take necessary steps to remove that employee from their safety-sensitive position and provide them with a list of one or more DOT qualified substance abuse professionals. Ultimately, it's up to the employer to make the choice of how to handle that employee. For example, the employee can be transferred to a non-safety function. They can be sent to rehab, or they can be terminated as well. The level of tolerance rests with the employer. Regardless of the decision reached, compliance rests on the employer's shoulders, and more importantly, the public's safety depends on it.
The SAP follow-up report says he completed the treatment, but needs a follow-up drug test every month for 5 years? Wow, that is a huge expense. Maybe I could get a second opinion.
Second opinions are not an option. Only the original SAP can modify the recommendations in any way. The DER should read the SAP's report carefully to make sure it is understandable and in compliance with DOT FAA regulations. If the DER has any questions about the SAP's evaluation or follow-up testing plan, the DER should talk directly to the SAP.
I have the reports from the substance abuse professional with a recommendation to return you to work. But before I can authorize that, you must take a return to duty drug test, and that test result must be negative.
Okay.
Once we have the negative test result and you're back performing safety-sensitive functions, I'll initiate the SAP's follow-up drug testing plan. Just be aware that follow-up testing will continue for 5 years. You need to know that both return to duty and all follow-up testing will be conducted under direct observation. Any questions?
Yeah. How soon can I get back to work?
As soon as I have your negative test result. How about we go and get that scheduled for this afternoon?
Oh, yes. I appreciate the second chance. I won't let you down.
All right, great.
Both the initial and follow-up SAP evaluations are required prior to conducting a return to duty test. The schedule for follow-up testing begins the day the employee returns to a safety-sensitive position. Remember, as a DER, the return to duty test and follow-up test must be administered under direct observation. Before sending an employee to a collection site for a drug test, the DOT FAA requires that you communicate directly with collection site personnel to ensure that the proper type of test is given and confirm whether or not direct observation is required. When an employee returns from testing, it's a best practice to promptly ask the employee directly how their collection was handled. If the test was supposed to be under direct observation and yet wasn't, another collection under direct observation must be obtained immediately. Keep in mind that the clock stops for the follow-up testing plan during any periods of extended leave or a break in service. The clock restarts when the employee returns to a safety-sensitive function. If you hire an employee whose previous employer did not complete their follow-up testing plan, you must resume the plan from the point where it stopped. Any time away from performing safety-sensitive work cannot be counted toward plan completion. All prescribed follow-up tests must be completed. As the DER, this is your responsibility.